Paris's two big clubs are merely 100 meters apart. But despite a small geographical difference, there is a vast difference in their on-field fortunes. PSG, the best team in France. Paris FC on the climb, but still fighting relegation in Ligue 1. But what if we could build Paris FC without having to pay relocation fees and players even having to change their daily commute? Today, I'm going to make Paris FC, Paris, France's, and Europe's best club by only signing PSG players. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the default starting 11 for Paris FC. It is a bit of a mess, nothing too impressive. You've got some very notable names like Kevin Trapp and like Ciro Immobile, but I don't think anybody's denying that we are nowhere near the level of PSG. Definitely not financially. We need to be cutthroat. We need to cherry pick the best PSG players available to us every single season, whether it makes sense for a starting 11 position or not. Luckily, our first signing is an area where we desperately need a player, the centre back role. It is going to be for the Brazilian defender, Lucas Beraldo, spending a large chunk of our budget on him, 17 mil. The frustrating part about these early seasons is, like, for example, I want to upgrade on De Smet. I would have liked, if this was a traditional rebuild, to transfer list him, sell him, upgrade him, but we are so heavily reliant on what PSG have. We cannot afford, and it doesn't make sense for us to go for Lucas Hernandez, and we definitely cannot afford Nuno Mensch. This rebuild is going to be a lot of adapting to the moves that PSG make, at least in the early seasons. There are a lot of players that I'm open to selling though to help finance our next generation of signings. First man out for the season is the striker, Jean-Philippe Crasso, a year in the championship for Rudy Matondo, and Alamami Gori staying in France permanently though. Gotta be so incredibly cutthroat here. If there are any wonder kids who I think will be able to help our squad out, I've got to poach them from PSG, and Ibrahim Mbaye is definitely that. He's a downgrade at the right wing role, but I definitely think long-term he's going to be a huge upgrade. I'm going to convert him to a left winger, and I want to put so much emphasis on his development. The departures continue though. Sangui a year on loan at Girona, and Adama Kamara heads to the struggling Ajax side. Continuing our trend of poaching PSG's best wonder kids though, we have got someone who I'm going to look to put out on loan here, but long-term could be maybe the best signing of the entire rebuild. French wonder kid Quentin Jantu, and Jantu joining us for 2.6 mil. 17 years of age, 69 overall, can play a variety of positions. I'm looking for a long-term loan for him to turn him into a superstar. And that is exactly what we're able to make happen. Quinton and Jantu, 2 years in Mallorca. Don't get lost in the party lifestyle, bro. Unfortunately, all the other guys I wanted to sell who are pretty crucial to, especially our new signings getting game time, they all joined the club this year, so no offers came in. I'm hoping we can get rid of them in January. But for now, this is what our preferred starting 11 looks like. So much room for improvement, so much to do with this squad. But bro, let's just survive relegation in season 1. I'm sorry. What? We are equal first. We are in a three-way, which is my favorite spot to be in, but we are in a three-way tie for first right now, tied with PSG and Stade Rennais. What have I missed? How are we doing this? My goal was not to get relegated. We are basically safe right now. We are pushing for a title. And dude, our first game of this January window is against PSG. I'm going to show you guys that in a second, but I also wanted to show you that we got one of the men out. It is Mathieu Cafaro heading to Hoffenheim. I did not expect this to be the position we were in, but we currently have a title 6 pointer. Lise Malou is suspended, but bro, if we can win this, we drew it. That is still incredible. We got dominated, but we drew it. We genuinely might end up technically being better than PSG in 1 year. But we're here. It's deadline day. Not a single offer for Moses Simon or Jonathan Okone. And the man that I was going to be targeting this window, Seni Mialu, has just permanently moved to Napoli, so he has to leave our shortlist. So we're going to cut our losses and sign basically the only PSG player we can actually afford. He's a bloody talent, but he's not what we need for the starting 11. Pedro Fernandez, betterwise known as Dro, joins us. I have minimal optimism, but let's see if we can get a loan move for him here with 10 hours to go. Okay. We actually made it happen. 4 hours to go, and we've sent Dro on loan for Leicester for 6 months. Jesus. All right, we fell off in a big way in the second half of the year. We went from equal first to sliding down to 7th. If you told us at the start of the season we were going to finish 7th, I would have been pumped with that. But if you told me we would have been equal first on the 1st of January, that feels like a massive L. I mean, even Stade Rennais, they finished below us, so both of us stunk it up. Hoping we get a little bit of European money, though, so we can target some of those bigger PSG players. No surprise, though, as we saw PSG winning the league. Relegated down are Angers and Havre, with Lorient in the relegation playoff. PSG win Coupe de France. We lost to Monaco in the round of 16 of that tournament, but Lorient take down Montpellier to stay up in the playoffs. Damn, bro, PSG really setting the standard. They have done the treble, and they have gone back-to-back as Champions League winners. Nottingham Forest win the Europa League, whilst Fiorentina win the Conference League. For me personally, I can't see many of these guys being here long-term. The frustrating thing, though, this is why I wanted to get rid of Moses Simon. Yes, he's been incredible, but he took game time away from Ibrahim Mbaye. I want Mbaye to be a superstar, bro. This is why I wanted to sell Moses Simon, and why probably priority number 1 next year is to get rid of him permanently. Marshall Munetsi, Diego Coppola, and Luca Cogliosho all heading back to England. But bro, big first year for Njantu, who goes up +3. Dro goes up +1. +2 for Matondo, and another +2 for Noah Sangui. Bring on season 2. Look, it is a real possibility that in these first few seasons, we're going to change formation a bunch. That's going to happen here in season 2. We're going to move to a 3 at the back formation due to our budget and due to the players available to us. So the first man in here for season 2 is El Chadil Bisharbi from Leipzig to PSG to Paris FC. We're also kind of cooked because all of our centre backs right now are left-footed. Finally, we're going to get rid of these lads. Jonathan Akone heading to Lille, whilst the Nigerian winger Moses Simon links up with Jose Mourinho at Benfica. All right, let's get right in here, fellas, before any other clubs potentially come in and take them away. New defensive midfielder in Brazilian Gabriel Moscardo, and a new attacking midfielder who I am so damn excited about. I've never used this guy in a rebuild before. It is the Mexican young wonder kid Gilberto Mora joining us for 9 mil. 17 years of age, 75 overall. He could be anything. But boys, there is one more potential mega signing that I'm trying to make, so I'm going to do everything in my powers to make it happen. We're going to sell Thibault Dismit. Dro, that's not going to get us money, but it may do just that down the line. But this is probably the biggest departure of the season. It is Maxime Lopez, 10 mil to send him to Vallecano. And in terms of overall and age, Encambadio is a way better option at the goalkeeper role right now. 76 overall, 23 years of age versus Kevin Trapp, who's in his mid-30s and 77 overall. So we're going to cash in on the veteran goalkeeper and send him to Burnley. Here we go, boys. Within the context of the rebuild, this is a mega signing for us. I don't see him being here when we hopefully eventually win a Champions League title, but for now, this is going to help us massively in taking that next step. It is the Frenchman Randall Kolo Muani, 27 years of age, 80 overall, back from his loan spell at Tottenham and immediately sold. Unwanted at PSG, so we got him on a pretty reasonable fee of 16 mil. A loan move to round out the summer window though, and it's someone we've seen on loan already in this rebuild, Rudy Matondo, another loan move, this time to Belgium. It feels so nice though to feel like the foundations at least have been laid in a lot of positions. Like, yeah, we're probably going to have to go for a new center defensive midfielder and striker in the near future. But for now, I'm very happy with the direction of this club. Coached so many PSG wonder kids, getting them in the right position for this new formation. The reserves are looking pretty strong. And with Conference League football coming our way, I'm excited to see what Season 2 has in store. Ugh, unless we win the Conference League, then that is an insane regression here in Season 2. That is actually disappointing. We've gone from 7th to 10th, and we were not even close to a Champions League spot. PSG win the league by goal difference. But bro, that is a shockingly disappointing Season 2 with a much better squad than we had in Season 1. We just do not get it done. Oh my god, Lorient and Stade de Reims go down. Stade de Reims going down is a big one. PSG win another Coupe de France. Watch them win another Champions League as well. Round of 32 exit for us to Saint Etienne. Guingamp take down Auxerre. Okay, it's not going to be a PSG Champions League title. This time it is Liverpool. Man United win the Europa League. And the Conference League goes to Frankfurt. Bitterly disappointing given we came 8th. We automatically made it to the round of 16, but then went out to Polish side Rakow. This season was a disaster. Please tell me we've at least had some decent growth in goals. All right, Gubels, and that's a good season for Kolo Muani. Gubels had a decent year. Gilberto Moro has grown like crazy. He's put up okay stats, but for the rest of the lads, like, we need Mbai to be converted to a left midfielder, bro. That's hurt us a lot. And he submitted a transfer request as well, bro. Oh, the formation change might have cooked us. Dro went up +2 on his loan. This is exciting, though. Quinton Njantu has gone up to a 75 overall on his loan spell. Matondo to a 71. We got some decent players to work with. I'm almost certain that Rudy Matondo is going to spend his entire career out on loan. I've decided to save him the pain of moving every year. 2-year loan this time. I have decided to sell Vincent Marchetti, though. I'm going to get rid of a lot of the players that I consider kind of deadwood at this point. Thomas Olila considered in that category as well. It may be a risky move to delay our signings because in case they move, but I want to have as much money in as possible so I know exactly how much I'm working with. So we're going to have a loan for the left back, Sangui, 2 years at Nice. I do want to go in for a new striker though. Willem Gubels sold permanently to Lyon. Touraine permanently sold to Watford. This here might be my riskiest call of the window though. I'm going to sell Ilan Cabal, 17.5 mil. That's a decent price tag to sell him to Bournemouth. But here's what I'm doing. Quinton Njantu, I'm going to convert him to a left midfielder. Ibrahim Mbai almost converted to a right midfielder. He's going to take that spot. I'm hoping we can get these guys converted over pretty quickly. Unfortunately, Njantu's time has gone up. He was only at like 30 weeks before. But yeah, I'm hoping they don't get pushed off onto the bench and out of the starting 11. I think if we can get them firing and in those positions, they will be terrific. But this allows us to make a bloody brilliant signing at the striker role and keep a lot of money in the bank. I'm buzzing about this. I didn't think we'd be able to get a player of his quality in this quick, but I'm not mad about it either. He's going to be a whale in the squad, and I say that because he is so much better than so many parts of our team. But Gonzalo Ramos joins us at Paris FC. Pretty healthy price as well, 27 mil. Unfortunately though, there are not many middle of the park, like middle tier players left in this PSG side that we could afford. Like, we desperately need to get a new center midfielder or center defensive midfielder, and players like Zaire Emery, Vitinha are just so far out of range. So I'm going to keep that money in the bank, and I'm hopefully going to have somebody to go for in January. But boys, this is where we're at for now. It's a good team. We definitely need a center midfielder sooner rather than later, and there are big question marks on the positioning of Mbai and Njantu, but I'm hoping we do not stink it up this year. In fact, I'm praying. All right, so 1st of January, we are 8th in the league, but we are points-wise in a really good position. We are 4 points out of the top 4, out of the top 3 rather. Technically still in the title race. We need to make some sort of a move here with the money we have in January. Can also confirm that Ibrahim Mbai finally became a right midfielder. Still waiting a little bit though for Njantu, which has me nervous. But look, unfortunately, PSG did make some signings, but they made really good signings like El Koupi from Bournemouth and really good players, Cole Palmer, players we cannot afford. So I'm going to sign a couple of players that I can either use as reserves or loan out or use to just sell on for a profit in a couple of years' time. This guy could be a decent potential long-term goalkeeper role. Renato Marin joining us for 7 mil. And then centre-back Noam Kamara joins us for 4 mil. The rest of our money I'm going to reinvest into contracts, coaches, all that fun stuff. One thing I have also realized though is we might have cooked ourselves by making the decision with the formation because PSG only sign wingers. Maybe I'm going to have to just bite the bullet and go back, which is annoying after I've gone to right midfielders. But it's something to think about where if I want to sign any of these wingers, I'm going to have to convert them to a midfielder. Maybe we just change the formation moving forward. We have ultimately decided to loan the lads out though. Going to be 2 years at Brentford for Noam Kamara. Whilst Renato Marin also heading to England, but he's heading to the north with Everton. Oh, get in there. Okay, it is only Champions League qualifiers, but we are in with a chance. We have our best season, 4th place here. 3 points off of an automatic spot with Monaco winning the league. But dude, we could have easily dropped down. Lyon, we tie on points, but we win on goal differential. Lille, 1 point behind us. Stade Rennais, 4 points. I'm feeling pretty blessed to be in this position, but we are heading to the Champions League in season 4 with honestly not any real expectations on my end. It's still good to be in the conversation though. Relegated this year, Montpellier and Metz. PSG really falling off. They don't win the domestic league or Coupe de France. Unfortunately, we continue to just be horrible in that tournament. Le Havre are coming up to Ligue 1. Liverpool win the Champions League. The Europa League goes to Tottenham. And okay, it's not all English domination as Atalanta win the Conference League. The 2 strikers combining brilliantly though. Randall Kolo Muani, 20 goals, Ramos 15, and I'm very happy. This might be the thing I'm most happy about. and Jantu and Mbai not putting up insane numbers. And Jantu puts up decent, but they're both midfielders. They both are starting so many games. Gilberto Mora, the Mexican though, 83 overall. That is beautiful. I'm just praying that we can go in for a decent midfielder next year. I'm willing to put all of our money just on a good center midfielder or defensive midfielder. Hell, even anywhere in the midfield. We are going to be saying goodbye to a few players though. Remy Ryu, Timothy Kolesiak, and Hamari Traore are all retiring. Oh, okay. So boys, this is obviously an awesome signing. Ethan Nwaneri's joining us from PSG, but I'm taking a bit of a risk. Default right winger, he can play attacking midfield or center midfield, and I am praying, absolutely praying, that it's not going to take a long time for him to hit one of those positions. And if that isn't the case, then I'm going to have to just adapt. But right now, I'm really happy to have Ethan Nwaneri into this Paris FC squad. All of our Champions League money going towards him, 48 mil. Moment of truth. What are we saying, lads? Oh, 168. Okay, 32. 32 weeks at attacking midfield. That's the one we're going to have to roll with. Just out of curiosity, Gilberto Mora, how long would... Okay, 124 weeks. All right, I'm going to have to keep him in attacking midfield as well. I've got to figure out this formation, boys. This is why this rebuild is so difficult. All right, boys, here's what I'm doing. I'm changing to this formation. Still 3 at the back. Moscato, unfortunately, though, he like -7 at that center midfield role. And it would take him 759 weeks to convert to a center midfielder. However, just 2 weeks to convert to a center back. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Otavio onto the transfer list. And now that we're playing a 1-striker formation, I'm also going to put Randall Kolo Muani on the shortlist. Absolutely no lack of attacking midfield players, though, at PSG. Who's this dude? Hungarian Nandor Kiss. He's not Soboslai's regen. He's better than him. But bro, Vitinha's 28. Oh, Zaire Emery's probably out of our range. The center midfielders they do have are literally 3 of the world's best. But let the transfer departures begin. Gonna be the right back, Sophie and Alakush heading permanently to Saudi Arabia. We've sold Otavio, the Brazilian center back, heading to AC Milan for 21 mil. But boys, the money that we have just got for Randall Kolo Muani honestly exceeded my expectations. I'm feeling good about a big signing now. I say that because we got bloody £54 million for him. How did we get that much? So that has allowed us, I don't know how he doesn't get the insane cutscene. That has allowed us to make our biggest signing of the video to date. This genuinely might change the entire trajectory of the save because we've got somebody who I think is going to take us from the little brother to the big brother. Breaking our club record transfer fee to sign Warren Zaire Emery. This is absolutely unbelievable. I genuinely did not think there would be a way we'd be able to sign this guy this year. He joins us from PSG for a massive 70 mil. I've also elected I'm going to bring Renato Marin back to the club because we literally don't have another backup goalkeeper. But boys, Champions League action early days here. We have Galatasaray in the qualifying rounds. Our journey starts now. Zaire Emery coming in just makes this team look so much better. We travel to Istanbul for the first leg though, fellas, against Galatasaray, which we win 2-1. Zaniolo gets a late goal, but Zaire Emery and Gonzalo Ramos give us the advantage. This just proves how important it is for us though to get top 3 so that we do not have to go through these playoff games. We have the advantage at home against Galatasaray. We win it 2-0. Perfect. On to the next round. Again though, lads, if we get through this step, we go to league phase play, but we face another European juggernaut versus Benfica. Oh, come on, lads. Get the job done, bro. Lise Malou stands out so much in this squad right now. I don't know how he's still playing in this game, but we win the first leg in Portugal 2-0. That is huge. Just do not bottle it, and we will be going to the Champions League phase. Come on, at home, Stade Jean-Bouin, and it's a 1. Perfect. That is what we were after. 1-0 victory, 3-0 on aggregate. The fact that we dominated, or we comfortably took control of Benfica and Galatasaray, gives me a decent amount of confidence for this year. Converting Moscato to a centre-back, though, has given him a +2 overall boost, which is massive. The team looks good for this year, boys. Obviously, the weak points stand out massively, but getting Zaire Emery, Beraldo, Mora, all these guys into the team puts us in an awesome spot. But will it enable us to do anything on the European stage? I definitely hope so. I can already see Man City as our first game. Let's go see who the rest are against. So yeah, September's brutal. Starting off hosting Man City and then traveling to Leipzig. October, we travel to Poland. We have BK Hacken travel us in November, followed by a trip to Amsterdam. December, we host Juventus. All right, how does January go? We travel to Naples. This is a roller coaster. Please give us a layup for the final match day. We host Dinamo Zagreb. Not a layup, but not a juggernaut. Oh, let's see how this goes. Oh, okay. That ain't great. We have qualified by the skin of our teeth, but we've qualified nonetheless to the playoff round. But bro, we're going to face an uphill battle. We did not do nearly as good as I expected, although finishing above Inter Milan and just below Bayern Munich is still decent. 2 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. All right, we're going to be versing Napoli in the playoffs, who we did lose to in league phase play 2-0, so a bit of adversity there on Valentine's Day. All right, boys, here goes nothing. At home for the first leg in the playoffs against Napoli. Can we set the foundations? No, we don't. Oh my god, yeah, I'm not feeling I went from feeling pretty confident to not confident at all. We are going to have to go to Naples here and do a job. Win a game, send it to extra time. Mora is going to have to step up. Ramos is going to have to step up. Against Napoli, we send it to extra time. Bro, we won in 90 minutes. Ramos and Waneri scored, but then absolute domination from Napoli in extra time. Oh, we go out 5-3 and we are out in the playoffs. Get top 3 this year, lads. Get top 3, please. All right, that's a silver lining. I don't ever want to see the playoffs for the rest of my life, or the qualifiers, to be fair. I want only top 8 finishes from here on in the Champions League. 2nd place in the French League. Not even close to PSG, who get back to the top of France, but we have qualified automatically for the Champions League for a 2nd straight year. That helps. I guess that is the one benefit of only focusing on the league for the most part of the season. We got 2nd, but Lorient and Havre go down. PSG get back to winning Coupe de France. We stay shit in the bed there. Angers staying in the French league. Man City, that gives me some hope. Napoli lost the Champions League final. We went extra time with them, and they literally made it to the final. Arsenal won the Europa League, whilst Osasuna stopped it from being full English domination of Europe. What I will say is, Gonzalo Ramos, you are an absolute freak. 87 overall, and Jantu finally breaks through. Gilberto Mora's 88 overall. What about seeing by, bro? I mean, from the age to overall rating, it's actually decent, but compared to the rest of the lads, we really missed a trick with him in that first year. All right, lads. It's happened again. We're having another formation change. We may break a record in this rebuild for the most formation changes, but I'm signing a right back. It is going to be Coyote, the former Brentford man. Went to PSG in this save, and that is music to our ears. 84 overall, the Italian joins us for 38 mil. But what I'm actually going to do is convert him to a left back. I'll make no attempts to hide the fact that I'm going in here for Zachariah El Audi eventually. Like, Nuno Mendes is still out of our price range. David Henko is 31. Could also go for this another Italian in Alex Longo. To be fair, between these two, I'm going to be going for one of these guys. We do need money though, which is why we are finally going to sell Ibrahim Mbaye. I'm kind of sad with the way things developed here, but I think a lot of it was off our own back. Ibrahim Mbaye moving to the Premier League though with West Ham. But this right here is a move that I am incredibly happy about, because we've sold Gabriel Moscato back to PSG, meaning if he turns into a superstar, we can technically bring him back again. 42 mil, I'm very happy about that. Theoretically, if I could sell everybody to PSG, that would be huge. No! Oh my god, I wanted to go in for El Audi, but he just got sold to Newcastle. Alex Longo it is, I suppose. Long term, if he continues to grow, this will actually be a blessing. He looks like an absolute superstar at 20 years of age. 2 Italians into the side this window. The young right back, Alex Longo, 40 mil. So this is how we line up for this season. The back line is just about sorted at this point. Obviously, the centre midfield role is still a pain in the ass. I've actually given the starting role to Matondo for the first half of the season. Lise Malou just dropping off massively. In the process of converting Njantu to a left winger, Waneri, I've gone back to a right winger. But yeah, it's pretty obvious centre midfield, we need somebody. And I mean, we have £42 million in our budget, but unfortunately, unfortunately, there are no center midfielders we could go for. PSG, just get like a run-of-the-mill one. Like, it's nice that once we get the money, someone like João Neves or even Nandor Kiss could be up for grabs. But bro, just bring in like a nice 83, 84 center midfielder for us to poach. I mean, I even checked to see if there are any center backs that could be converted to center defensive midfield, or center midfield rather. Moscato cannot. I already looked at that before I converted him or before I sold him. So yeah, we roll into season number 5 with this team. And fortunately, we automatically qualify for the Champions League this year. And I'm hoping we can get ourselves a top 8 spot. I feel like if we had the center midfielder, we would genuinely be a contender this year. So my hope is that we can get ourselves there, and then like late January transfer window, maybe going for a center midfielder if PSG brought somebody in. But these are our opponents. Hosting Shakhtar Donetsk to start, away against PSV, away to Galatasaray. God damn, a lot of away games. Away to Molde, hosting Racal, away to Borussia Dortmund, and then we finish it off with Roma and Man City. So it really is like that middle section. That's where we're going to get most of our points. I don't want to even be worried about qualification by the time these big ones at the end roll around. All right, 1st of January, we sit 3rd in the league right now. I want us pushing for the title though. And look, there has been no additions to the PSG midfield. I can't see us being able to afford even somebody like Soboslai at the moment, so I'm gonna focus elsewhere with the money we have. Plus, Rudy Matondo's growing pretty nicely so far this year. I'm gonna make what may be deemed as a controversial move. I'm gonna cash in on Obed and Cambadio, who's done way better than I expected. 38 mil to Brighton, and we'll make a life-changing, a game-changing, a club-changing upgrade in between the sticks. It is for a Spanish goalkeeper by the name of Sergio Cortez, 23 years of age, 88 overall. This dude looks like an absolute freak, and now he plays for Paris FC. 65 mil for Sergio. Alright, but our Champions League games have come to an end. It is not much of a difference from last year, unfortunately. Into the playoffs with a very low seeding once again. This time though, arguably more difficult. We don't have Napoli, we have Atletico Madrid. Huge blow. If you thought our midfield was already weak, Zaire Emery suspended for this first leg. That is the position where we don't need somebody suspended. So dude, as far as I'm concerned, I just want to be all even as we head back to Madrid in the second leg. First leg at home is going to be a 1-0 loss. Oh my god, bro. We've got to work from behind for a second straight year. Otherwise, it's going to be back-to-back exits in league phase play. Far out. Zaire Emery's back. We're back to our full-strength starting 11, but bro, we're going away. If we were coming home, maybe I'd feel a little bit better, but we have just got to focus on getting a 1-0 win, send it to extra time, and actually win in extra time, unlike last year, which we do not do. That is a reality check, bro. We got the lead, and then absolutely gave it up for the second straight year. Paris FC out in the Champions League playoff round. Slowly getting closer to PSG though. It's a bad season on a European front, but we're going to get a 3rd attempt at it in season number 6. God, I pray that we can get something sorted in the midfield. PSG though, despite us just ripping their best players out, they only lose 1 game this year. They are something else. Relegated in Ligue 1. It's the same teams every year, bro. This is nice though. We won a trophy. Trophy de Champions over PSG at the start of the year. A very random Coupe de France. Stade Brestois taking out Red Star. Bro, like us and PSG were nowhere near that. We went out in the round of 32. Whilst Metz survived the relegation playoff. Arsenal ended up winning the Champions League. Braga win the Europa League. And Real Sociedad won the Conference League. Gonzalo, bro, our front 3 is cracked. Gonzalo Ramos entering the prime of his career. 29 goals, 89 overall. But, holy shit, +7. Converting Quinton Njantu has turned him into one of the world's best wingers at just 22 years of age. Ethan Nwaneri at an 87 at just 23. Oh my god, our attack is, bro, Mora's 21. Our attack is cooked, but clearly not cooked enough to win a Champions League. Our budget is really nice this year, and I'm not going to hide my intentions. My number 1 priority, I'm going in for Vitinha this year, but we need a little more money to make that happen. So I'm going to sell a couple players that have money, that have valuation. Mustafa and Bal sold the mines. And I'm praying that we're going to have enough money after this one. Lohan Doucet, it's not the biggest amount of money, but it's just that little bit extra to give us more negotiating room. Vitinha, we're coming for you. And we got him. Oh my god. If we don't win a Champions League with this dude, it's going to put us into generational debt. Our whole bloodline is going to be cooked, but For right now, I am so happy. We've been crying out for a star center midfielder for so long, and the FIFA gods, the FC gods have just not helped us out. We knew we were going to have to go for one of the big dogs. We couldn't get João Neves, but we've got Vitinha, one of the world's best center midfielders. His age has me a little nervous, and that price tag justifies it, but for now, I'm just going to revel in this because he is 92 overall. And now, for the first time in this rebuild, I feel like we genuinely are better than PSG. This starting 11 is unbelievable. The bench could definitely use a bit of work, but for now, the starting 11 is just ridiculous, bro. Look, I can't knock UEFA for ranking us so low consistently. We really don't help ourselves, just getting destroyed in the playoffs year after year. Surely we can get top 8 this year. Surely. Dinamo Zagreb to start things off. Then we host Anderlecht, away to Dortmund for a second straight year, away to Porto. Hosting Olympiacos, so far, it's not terrible. December gives us a trip to Switzerland, followed by hosting Newcastle United and hosting Leipzig. We've got some tough games, but overall, I think this is our softest draw so far. We need to make that count. Yes. Come on, lads. We don't only just get top 8, we get top 1. Paris FC, top of the Champions League phase. Playoffs, we will not see you. Oh my god, that is actually a huge relief. Now let's just not bottle it in the round of 16. Also, I just wanted to point out, just quietly, we are currently having an invincible season domestically. Only 2 draws as well, 10 points clear with a game in hand. Bro, I'm not going to jinx us, but we're basically, if we don't win the league at this point, that would be one of the biggest drop-offs ever. Bro, how does this work? PSG went through the playoffs and get to verse Braga. Meanwhile, we've got to verse Juventus. It's Juve versus Paris FC in the round of 16. First leg away in Turin, and just like last year, one of our stars is suspended, Gonzalo Ramos. Bro, we have desperately got to work on our reserves. If we don't win it this year, I'm going to be going all out on the reserves next year. Zaire Emery up to a 90. Sissoko, please, have a miracle run. Away in Turin, and we win it 2-0. It's not Sissoko, but it's Njantu bagging himself a brace. 2-0 up. That's unexpected. But we are back to full strength for this second leg at home. Gonzalo Ramos back in. 2-0 up. Just get the job done and get it done without any issues. Get us through to the quarterfinals. A 1-1 draw. I can live with that. Matondo, of all players, coming off the bench and bagging us that equalizer. But for the first time in this video, we've got not only past the playoffs, but we've got past the round of 16 and actually won a knockout round tie. Oh, PSG, no surprise, they took out. I'm keeping an eye on them. It would be quite funny if both teams made it deep. They took out Braga. We obviously got our win, but we're going to be versing Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League quarterfinals. And once again, we are going to be on the road for the first leg, off to the Bayer Arena, a terrorizing place. Cortez up to a 90, but here we go. Again, just lay the foundations for when we get back home. 3-1, bro. And Njantu has been such a beast. We come from behind and we establish a huge advantage. Oh, exact same mindset going into this second leg as we head against Juventus. A 2-goal lead. Just do not bottle it and do not get injuries or suspensions, and we'll get ourselves to a semi-final. Come on, fellas. I'll take that. Oh, yellow card. Multiple yellow cards. Oh my god, all right, we get the win. Waneri scores the goal, 1-0, we're firing. But Vitinha and Bishabu getting yellow cards, hopefully not suspended. All right, it's going to be between Barca, Man City, or PSG. And the answer for this one is Barcelona. Luckily, no injuries, no suspensions. Bishabu and Vitinha are both in here for the first leg. It's a switch up. We are at home for the first leg. So let's see if we can lay the foundations to take away to Barcelona. It is, oh my, that is, okay. It is probably the most adversity we've versed. It is a scoreless draw against Barcelona. But again, yellow cards galore. Our attack weakened massively if they're suspended. By the grace of God, we have no injuries here. I'm genuinely surprised by that. I thought we were going to be missing at least one player, but we now have to go into Barcelona, get a win, and get ourselves into a Champions League final. Oh my god, let's rip the band-aid off. For a spot in the Champions League final with Paris FC. We do it, and we do it with style. Oh my god. 4-0. 4-0 in Barcelona. Waneri, bro. I love you. We are heading to a Champions League final. And I'm praying, I'm so hopeful that it's going to be against PSG. It will not be PSG. We are going to be versing Manchester City. Man City won. Okay, they won 3-1 on aggregate, but we are versing Manchester City here in the Champions League final. Napoli win the Europa League whilst the Conference League goes to Como. But the big question, did we go invincible in Ligue 1? Oh, we did not. We copped 2. Bro, look at our goal difference. 84 goals for, 29 against. Only 2 losses all year, and we finished 20 points clear of Monaco. That is one of the best seasons, I think, in rebuild history. God damn, man. This Paris FC team is unbelievable. Saint Etienne and Metz go down to Toulouse in the playoff game. Coupe de France went to Stade Rennais this year, whilst the playoff game being played on June 1st. Ethan Nwaneri, the star of the show this year. Ramos with 24 goals. Nwaneri with 32 goals. Our attack in this video has just absolutely ate. I don't know, I kind of want to like match fix this game and just throw it, because with so many young players still, we could genuinely have like Njantu, Mora, and Nwaneri get to 99 in this career mode. With that being said though, I'm going all out. Let's see if we can officially make Paris FC bigger than PSG and the biggest team in Europe. Mate, this feels kind of unfair. What type of match fixing and sorcery did Man City do to get this game be played at Old Trafford? Basically a home game, a home city game for Manchester City. Oh my God, that was a chaotic bit of play there. We just need to get it away in the box. Feed that. Go on. Got to be careful of the rainy conditions. And Njantu, though, kind of in behind with his pace. That was a shocking touch, Jared. Njantu dragging it back. Drilling that one there. Play it through. Vitinha! 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 We paid the big bucks for him. I said he would send us into generational debt if it didn't work out. But he is maybe sending us into generational wealth. Vitinha giving us an early lead in this final. Longo. Oh, gets taken out there from Ake. Was it Cucurella? I think it was Cucurella. Taken out, but we have a great position right now. Yellow card for Cucurella. But bro, I want to see if we can make some magic happen. Should have just hit it earlier before that. I want to see if I can make this happen. All right, this is a tough angle, but I'm going to drill it here with Nwaneri. Might have put too much power on it. We're going to hit that one. Oh, we forced the save. I mean, to be fair, it was right down the middle, but just the power made it difficult there for Donnarumma. Nwaneri puts that one back post. Beraldo gets his head, but puts it wide. We are dominating in this opening half an hour. City seem to have finally woken up here. Trying to defend. They get the shot. Good save at the near post from Sergio Cortez. Semenyo struggling to get the ball. Cortez is an absolute beast, bro. He makes everything look 10 times more dramatic, but he keeps it out, and that's all I'm after. We need to lock in, though. City have finally woken up ever since I said we were dominating. Oh, that we got lucky with that one. I'm just going to let it rip with Zaire Emery. That was hopeful from me. Get that one away. That's a great ball, but Semenyo, that's a shocking header. Got to be smart with possession here. Getting a second goal would be nice, but we got to make sure we don't blow anything. I saw that run being made. Gonzalo Ramos turns to the defender, drills it, and forces a great save out of Donnarumma. I should have taken another touch or two. Oh, that's not a great challenge. We might be down a man here. I think it should just be a yellow card. Literally with 30 seconds to go in the game. That might have honestly been the right move, because they might have been on the counter-attack. Maybe the best yellow card in Paris FC history. So I'm hoping they hoof it and we can just get this one away and the referee will blow full time. We do get it away, and that should be full time. Come on, referee. There it is. Oh my God, what a final, what a game, what a rebuild. This was one of those rebuilds where I genuinely, like, the timeline got thrown so far out of proportion. All of those 8th place finishes after the hot start. We started off so high and just stayed there for so long and weren't able to break through. But once we did, this is what happens. And it is my great pleasure to see the first signing of our reign at Paris FC, Lucas Beraldo, to be the man to lift a Champions League title and officially make Paris FC bigger than PSG. Lads, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on the video, click here to subscribe, and click here to check out another video.